Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. On this video today, I would like to talk about something that can be very helpful. And this is a message for people who are germophobics. Now, I know that, germs can be scary and all that stuff, which everyone, can be afraid of, especially because they make us sick over time and all that. But I just want to let everyone know that, sometimes germs are actually something we need for our bodies in order to make our immune system stronger. And I know those who are germophobics, I know can be scared of germs harming them and all that stuff, but what you just also got to understand is that you can't get rid of germs completely. Like, no matter how clean your home is or anything that you touch, it could be anything really, like your cell phone, your game consoles, anything that you touch. And no matter how clean your hands are, there's still always going to be germs, because germs can still form everywhere, even from outside. Like, because they can even get inside your house, or even in your office space and all that stuff. So, the best thing I would suggest, though, is if germs are such, a big deal for you, I would probably suggest seeing a therapist, stuff like that, because you can't worry about stuff like this because germs are always going to be a thing, and we still can get sick, even someone like me, because even I have gotten sick a lot of times in my life, and that's also because I was touching my face without washing my hands, and that's how I get sick sometimes. And that's why you also just wash your hands more often. But the only thing I should warn you, though, is try not to wash your hands too much a day, because if you do, your hands will dry out. The skin will dry out because you're washing out the natural oils in your hands. And, the oil in your hands is what keeps your skin moist, and, prevents it from drying out. So, I mean, yes, it is fine to, thoroughly clean your house and all that stuff. But, like I said, no matter how well something can be cleaned, germs will still form again. Washing them will just get rid of germs temporarily, especially ones that contain viruses, like the flu, cold, COVID, stuff like that. And like I said, even if you are clean and all that, something can still happen. You can still get sick at some point. And also, another thing that can even happen too, it's not just germs that can make you sick too. Also, people can also get sick from germs because excuse me, because they're worrying so much, they're having anxiety all the time, and anxiety and stress together can weaken your immune system even more, which will make it much easier for you to get sick, especially if you did have even the small amount of germs on your hands, and when you forgot to wash your hands before eating and all that stuff. Because the weaker your immune system is, the better chance you are of catching something. And sometimes, you might even just get a mild case of something, or sometimes you could be a pretty bad case. But there's no guarantee, though, that we'll never get sick again. Because whether you're very clean, or if you don't wash your hands often, people can still get sick. So to all those people who have the fear of germs, I just want you all to know that, there's nothing to be afraid of, because, we all just have to do what we can to get through, everyday life. And certain things you just can't change, especially when it comes to always getting rid of germs, because you're gonna make yourself get sick just from being stressed out and scared all the time like that, because you have to try to relax your body, or else your nervous system is gonna like get so out of control that, you know, it just weakens your immune system. It's not good for you. So you just gotta try to be careful. Like, try to, wash your bed sheets, or I mean, as often as possible. At least maybe once a week or so. Well, all depends. And vacuum your carpets a few times a week at least. Dust, disinfect everything you touch, like in your bathroom and all this stuff. Like, disinfect the toilets, the faucet, all that stuff. And just, or anything that you touch, like a remote and all that stuff. Just try to clean them as often as you can, and if it's necessary, I mean. But like I said, there is no guarantee, though, that you might still get a chance of being sick, though. But you probably may not, in most cases, you probably might not get a really bad case, though. Because the more you clean the environment you're in, the better chance you are of not getting a severe case of, like, a flu or cold or whatsoever. But like I said, stress and anxiety is not going to help. And always like freaking out like over something that probably has not been cleaned yet. You can't freak out like that, or else you're just gonna get into that habit for so long that it can be very hard for you to break out of this bad habit. And before you know it, you could even end up, getting really, really sick, like mentally and all that, just because you keep freaking out and all that. So my video is supposed to be helpful for people who are afraid of germs, especially ones who are germophobics and all that, because I know a lot of people who are germophobics, are so scared of getting sick and all this stuff. But even I've been sick before. I don't like getting sick either. And, it's never fun. It's not fun for anyone. But sometimes it just happens, even if you are clean. Because sometimes we just don't realize that we're touching our faces sometimes. Because our hands are what contain the germs. Because if you just rub your face and all that, then obviously germs can get inside, like through your eyes, your nose, your mouth, and all that. So that's why, just try to be careful when you're handling something that contains germs, like dirt, dust, stuff like that. Always wash your hands before you eat or prepare food and all that, and you should be fine. So, if that's how it is, I mean, it's just how it is. I mean, you just gotta be careful with what you do. That's all. It doesn't, because remember, I mean, and not to scare you or anything, but this is the truth too. People can even, get very sick from just even a simple cold, or even the flu or COVID. Especially for people who have weak lungs and all that stuff, like if they have lung conditions and all that stuff. Well, that I can understand that you have to be extremely careful with that, which is fair enough. But still, but freaking out over it is, from every little thing that happens, no, it's not gonna help. You do gotta try to, calm yourself a little bit, or else it's gonna give you a better chance of getting sick. Because like I said, stress and anxiety is not good for you, and it can really weaken your immune system. And, it probably may even take you longer to recover if that happens. So I hope that this video was very helpful, and I hope that, you all try to stay safe and try your best to just, just try to stay healthy and just, do what's right for yourself. But like I said, just try, to take it easy a little bit. And I hope all for the best for everyone who is going through this issue with germs. So, I hope this video was helpful, and don't forget to like and subscribe on my channel, and have a good day. Goodbye.